What is up, everybody? Hold on. Let me cut off this timer. Clearly. And alright. That was almost pretty smooth. What's going on, everyone? Waiting. What's up, Mike? Looking sharp. Hey, Sensei is back. What's going on, everybody? Yes, and in case you can't tell, this is my pre-pandemic state. I've trimmed off all of the facial hair and gone back to babyface Mike. I have kind of cleaned up my office here. I got my let's just do a big screen real quick so I can show this off, and then I'll get into the show. Right? Full screen camera. Okay. So in the background, you can see I finally got a table to put my my resin printer on, and it is the Photon Mono X. Let's turn that down. That's loud. Photon Mono X printer. I have still have my Ender 5. Ender 5 resin or filament printer. And I have my Iron Man up there, new edition. If you're wondering, I love that Iron Man, just got it from Sideshow, and my Spider-Man also. All right, so let's get back to the main window, get off of me, and what's up, Sword Deep? Everybody is doing fine. Thank you. What's your job, film? I am, so I do some sculpting for Sideshow, and I do a lot of package design for like Hasbro and illustration for movie posters. Like this is mine right here. So that kind of stuff. That's what I do. Not film, not games or film. A lot of illustration for like films and package and stuff like that. So I hope everybody's doing well. What you can see on my screen here is some bull crap. This is where I left off last time. This was supposed to be Cyclops. And this is kind of where I left you guys. I have been working on it, so let's turn that off immediately. And this is kind of where I am now. So I've gone in and really reworked his anatomy. I still have some stuff to do to the anatomy today. You can see his feet are real mushy. And I started just kind of blocking in his gear and threw some color on there as well, so it's a little easier to see. I was thinking the base could be kind of cool if it was, you know, maybe somebody blew up the X-Mansion or something happened to it. So I have some I-beams and the logo. It's going to have School for Gifted Youngsters. That thing on the bottom is kind of like an explosion. I will be biting off of the Iron Man thing probably, only without the lights. And what else? Just kind of figuring out the gear, right? So what I'm going to do today is keep kind of plugging away on the anatomy. Let me show you something that I've done. Let's turn off the color first of all. Start to turn off some of the, did my mouse stop? No. Turn off the belt. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're well. Let's turn that off. And let's turn off that. Yeah, and we can leave the little glovey gloves on. Turn them off too. It's off. Also. Okay, so let's see. All right, yeah, so you can see this is kind of where I am with the pose. I think it is a little more dialed in than it was last time. You can see the head is real low res and choppy, not a whole lot going on there. And I have his optic blast, which is in a group, and I can turn that off and you can see what I have here. So got to work on his face and head and fix some of the stuff on his body. So what I did for his body is I actually drew in. I painted over it. All right, let me go back to an earlier version of this. Let's see, loading tool. Let's go to 10. I think 10 has it. Does it? Yeah. All right. So what I did was I found a lot of stuff on here that I was like, this needs to be better. This needs to be fixed or whatever. I have not sculpted in the serratus yet, and the external obliques and all that. So I have to do that. I got to work on the deltoids some more, get to his back and work on that. You got the Photon X symbol. Yeah. So I've had it built for a while. It's been in my guest bathroom because I didn't have a table. So I finally bought a table, and so that's what I have. I have not printed on it yet. If you were to look at it closely, you would see that I just put on the plate, and it still has the screws and stuff inside of there. So I think I might do my Iron Fist and Power Man as the first print since they're cut, but I'm still thinking about it. Isn't it better to sculpt in T-pose, make any other... Yeah, so this started off in a T-pose. If we go back to the old school joint, let's see if I still have it. And in fact, in my last stream, it started off as this dude, right? Which was something I did for my anti-venom tutorial. I took just a plain base mesh and kind of sculpted up the muscles on this guy. So I took this guy, chopped him up, and put him in this pose, right? Which is real suspect right now, but it got me to the point where I could get it looking like this. So, and as you can see on this, I've gone in and kind of dynameshed the legs together with the body. Those were split off before. Dynameshed the arms onto his body, and now I'm just going to be making cosmetic changes, right? So I think what I'll do here is I'm going to copy, I will transfer the paint only, right? So I did a save state, and what I'm going to do is project not the geometry, because I've done work since then on this one, but I am going to project the paint. So if I go down to project and turn off geometry, leave on color, and hit project history, this should work. Say, yeah, all right, cool. So now I have my color back, and all that was I just took my damp standard and not damp standard, the standard brush, used black as a color, turned off add, and I just kind of drew in things where I felt like they belong. So now I can go and fix it. I'm going to open up my reference. A lot of reference, and in fact I collected more today before the show. So let's go to my pure ref and open recent Cyclops, open, load, recent, come on baby, Cyclops. Alright, cool. What top tip would you give away for your audience? Top tip? Stay in school, guys. Don't do drugs. That's my top tip. I don't know. Be patient, because everything starts off terrible. You just got to work through it. So as you can see, I found some more reference things that I like. As far as how I'm going to work the packs on him, I like this artwork. Just some reference for anatomy. Love this sculpture right here. This is beautiful. Superman. And very minimal base too, which is dope. So I like that. More anatomy. Very good Cyclops, which I immediately saved, and unfortunately I clipped off the name. I think. Yeah, I clipped off the name of who did it. Whoever did it, shout props to you. Right? My buddy did that bishop. It's awesome. And so I'll be using this. Right? So let's just keep it moving. My friend that did the bishop also did this Lobo. One of the best in the game. And then just more gear here. So let's do that. I want to get the serratus figured out, because I always kind of leave that for last. Don't ask me why. Hex and the serratus I always leave for last. And I do not have symmetry turned on, so I will be doing this twice. People ask me all the time, why do you do that? I feel like the more I do, the better I get. So practice, you know what I'm saying? Why not do it twice? I'm going to do a save state here. I'm using my clay buildup. And let's see. Yeah, pure ref is what I got. How do you make the background transparent? There's a setting. If you go to settings, you can, I think under preferences, somewhere in here, there is, you can mess around with the transparency. Be very careful though, because what I did was I made the transparency like really low, and I couldn't move it because I couldn't see where the pure ref ended and where the canvas started. That's a thing. Okay, clay buildup does not look the way I want it to look. What's going on? I might have to reset my brushes. Set brushes. Why does it look like that? It's not right. Try place spin and see what this does. Well, that's working. Maybe I'll just use clay spin for this. Let's back over here. Let's flip this guy. Oh, dope. Okay. So another thing you can do with your characters, I'm learning all these key commands. Like if you hold down Control, Option, and Shift and drag left and right, you can change the opacity if you wanted to, like maybe sculpt over this guy or under him. But I want to flip him, and I don't know why he's not flipping. There it is. All right. So if you hold Control and Shift, you can flip it the opposite direction. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a long one, that's why. There you go. So spending a little extra time and drawing in these landmarks makes it so I can just basically just coloring book this mess, you know what I mean? Makes it kind of easy. And then if I want to see what it looks like, I just turn off the color and I can continue doing what I need to do. Alright, so once I just have the rough shapes, I just kind of go in and clean it up until it doesn't suck anymore. I definitely want to turn down my intensity on my smooth. I really hate it when I sculpt something I like and then I smooth and it's completely gone. It's doing what I want it to do. All right, let's see what I missed here. We'll be making a video of the printing and cleanup process, tips for cleaning and printing. Maybe. You know, I was thinking what I might do is like because I had somebody ask me yesterday if I was going to have more gum roads, and I might do a thing where I have a part 2 of anti-venom, where I go through and do like some really clean UVs, do like a production setup, and then take it into take it into Substance Painter, do something like that, and then also cut and key them and print them as well. That could be kind of cool. So maybe there's a part 2 in the future, I don't know. The reason I always save these for last is like they fit together in a very particular way, like they fan and then interlock, and I always got to go over them a few times to get them to look right. It's one of those things where I get there eventually, but at first they look, you know, too pronounced or flat or whatever. So that's one thing that I've really learned. Like, I mean, you were talking about that top tip thing. Like, the patience thing is real, man. Like, because it's very easy to go on ArtStation and see a piece that looks really dope. And I was talking to Danny and Bradley about this the other week on Stylist League. You know, you don't know what goes into it. You don't know how many hours and what kind of blood, sweat, and tears a person puts into their work. You know, you just see the end result and think, oh, they're awesome. Why can't I be that good? It's probably because they're putting in a lot of work to get like that. Oh, patient. I want to be the Black Bob Ross of ZBrush, you guys. Trademark, Mike T. 2021. Anybody who knows who Bob Ross is knows he's the coolest man who ever picked up a paintbrush, with the sweetest fro that's ever been on anyone of any color. And his demeanor is very sweet. Nice guy. Oh, rest in peace. Right, Control T for transparent. Oh, nice. Let's try it out. Control T. Ignore the mouse. Oh, wait a minute. Cancel. Okay, let's see. I'll play with that later. Good music too. Thank you, ML. ML is my producer in the Stylist League. The third part, Stylist League. If you don't know about the Stylist League, go on YouTube and do a YouTube/Stylist League. Check out our videos. Starting a new one tomorrow. Actually, I almost said tonight. That could have been awkward. Oh, getting there. Do me a favor, if you picked up the anti-venom and you enjoy it, please give me a shout in here so I can actually shout you out, say thank you. I've had some pretty nice response. And instead of trying to just explain my process, just looking at it is way easier. So the way I usually do this is I'll put it like I'll kind of get these areas in deeper than they need to be, and then back off a little bit. But I don't want to do too much, because I usually, like, one thing I learned kind of talking to friends who are sculptors and doing stuff for sideshow is you usually want to bang in your details like about 1.5 times what you normally would, for it to just, you know, be something on the screen. And then when you print them, they don't disappear. So that's nice. Other thing I like to do is step down and smooth. I keep my detail at the higher levels, but I kind of blend these things together a little bit. That looks a little better. That's close enough. Let's go to the other side. Get those. The other thing too, once I kind of like where I am with something, I can erase these lines, so that's good. Now this is Cyclops, and I have him way too diesel, so I am going to be doing some kind of overall body shaping to him, not to be confused with body shaming, because right now he's way too thick. Okay, I'm going to turn everything on. Down. I probably could have another subdivision level lower than this to keep it like super clean, but I don't. Also, hide everything else. God, Summers, wish he looked like this, son. Awesome. The other thing I was noticing is as I was adding belts and stuff to him, it starts to get very blocky. So I almost have to go too far as the, you know, the organic kind of forms on him in order to keep some of that stuff. Yeah, that's right on the line. I'm good, baby. back up again. Brill, what's up? Hello. Your skeleton brush really helped my anatomy. I don't have a skeleton brush, but thank you. What are you talking about? Vamshi. Asian anime. Ahoy. Ahoy there, mate. Did you retop before posing? Yeah, so no, I actually I used my Sculptris Pro to get it kind of the way that I wanted it to look, and then made poly groups, and then I retopoed. So actually what I could do, well, I'll wait until I get these ribs kind of knocked in here, but what I'll do after this is I'll retopo again, and then I'll have kind of those forms cut in. But you can see where, like, even if I step down to the low subdy levels, like all of the segmenting in the legs and everything are there because I retopoed after I sculpted them. Anyway, let's see what else. That's a thick boy. That's a thick boy. Thank you very much. Control T is to make PureRef transparent to mouse cursor. If you want to make background of PureRef, totally transparent. Alt 3. Wow, wow. Look at those key commands on 91. I'm not saying your whole name. You're not gonna get me, brother. I'll leave that for Bradley on Friday. All right. Let's go back and do what I was doing before. Okay, solo. Shout out to Tony Gore. What? No, he can't wait for school to be over. Grab this side. Screenshot. View. Actually, no, I'm not going to do a screenshot because it'll screenshot because it'll disappear. So what I'll do, sometimes I think it has to do with my graphics card. I don't know why, because I got a baller graphics card, but if I do a screenshot, sometimes if I drag the model, it makes it disappear, which is not good. So I will just bake this. Let's see, let's do a render first. And hit bake, create, make a new layer. There you go. Now I can get in there and really get this side locked in. Back. I'm alternating back and forth between the Alt. I'm pressing Alt to remove some of this, digital clay, and then adding to it using my clay build-up brush to try to get the forms figured out here. The trick is getting the external obliques, I can't even talk, the ribs to look like they're kind of they're underneath of the serratus, these little fingery looking things here, if you are not up on the lingo. Look like intertwined fingers. Having the light straight on kind of helps too, so let's get my light centered. And I'm not getting any shadows that are confusing me. And also I'll turn it down a little bit. It's a little bright. Make my material a little darker might help too. I don't talk about that this much in, oh, golly. All right, let me take a sip of water and then I can talk, because right now I can't. I don't talk about this that much in here, but I started doing mentoring, and I picked up a couple of new students yesterday. So if they are watching, shout out to you. I'll see you next week. And I have my classes too. If any of my students from CG Spectrum are checking it out, shout out to you as well. That boy beefy, Tony Gore. Kind of new to the pose stage because I don't know how to probably pose in. Yeah, you know what? So my friend Tony Gore and Brad Grotman are, I kind of look at, I sculpt, those are the guys I hang out with on the weekend when they're not teaching. And I learned a lot of Maya and posing and all that stuff from those cats, especially Brad as far as the posing is concerned. But it's always good to have a friend who is, who's good at that, and you just kind of pick their brain. Being in a hangout or something like that is nice too, to just kind of push the pose. And also, looking at people on Instagram and ArtStation, like I look at that all the time. I see somebody that is awesome, I immediately follow them and give them a shout out on Instagram, stuff like that. All right, let's turn on solo. Now I don't want him to look emaciated, right? So I will probably smooth this out some. I don't want it to look like you can count his ribs or anything like that. But I do want it to kind of be apparent. Muscles are something that I'll spend a lot of time just refining. You know, I'll knock them in early and they look okay, but it takes a lot of just kind of sculpting on top of them to get them to look like they're under the skin, as opposed to looking like an écorché, right? Because I have all these écorchés on my desk, which are fresh, but I don't want it to look like his skin's been peeled off. I just want it to look like, you know, he's a muscly dude. These guys. Not that muscly. Maybe like this chick. Maybe not that muscly. More like I think Cyclops has probably got more like a runner's body. He's not that diesel, but he's a superhero, so what the heck. I had a ton. Do I still have them? No. I had a ton of 3D scans too. They're on a different reference board. See, he's kind of skinny. But those are great because you get to, you know, you don't have the burden of having the color and the spec and all that stuff on there. It's just like a nice scan of the forms to follow. So if you guys like what I'm doing here, do me a favor and follow my YouTube, and then immediately follow Stylist League. Subscribe on YouTube, because Bradley, Danny, and I are there every Friday night. We were talking about maybe changing the day, but for now it's Friday, and we work on kind of like these little challenges we give ourselves. So the first one was for 80s cartoons, and Danny sculpted Lion-O, and I sculpted, I sculpted Lion-O and Danny sculpted Skeletor, and it came out dope. The one we're wrapping up now is for classic video games, and that was Danny did the Slig, I think is what its name is, from Oddworld, and I did Arthur from Ghosts and Ghouls, and that is, let me get that real quick. It came out kind of cool, actually. Let's hide this for a second. Let's save. Ooh. Yes, yes. For a second. Let's see. Yeah, so this was my Ghost and Goblins guy. And we do the whole process right in front of you. So it's kind of dope, you know. You get to see our sketch, then we get into blocking in the forms, and then in between sessions when you can't see us, we record it and do a time lapse. So that's on our Stylist League YouTube. So a whole lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? A whole lot of fun. ZBrush. Boom. Gabriel J, nice work there. Do you allow me to do an observation? Observe away, Gabriel. Let's see. Wow, sup man, using a Wacom or in 2.0 Pro. I notice you aren't moving your arm that much. I am on a Cintiq 32 Pro, which is amazing. I love it. So I use this as like my everyday driver, and when I'm out and about, I use my either my Wacom Cintiq 16 Pro 16 Pro, or my new, I have a Sense Labs tablet, which is dope. I like that too. So I actually have something that I'm gonna kind of test out and do a review for, a new little Sense Labs toy I got the other day. And oh, I finally released, people ask me all the time, I did a review, kind of a video for HP and NVIDIA and Corel kind of put together this laptop for me, which is amazing. It's a ZBook Create. So if you follow any of my social media yesterday, you saw I posted on my YouTube a video of me kind of running it through the paces and talking about the features. And it's dope. It's very dope. So if you have time, check that out. All right, so that's close enough. Let's get the gear back on there and see what that looks like. I never saw Shoe in any other stream in ZBrush. Is this a new update? Oh no, that's mine. That's mine. I am on the East Coast. We love Tim's here. That's a Timberland that I did for a sideshow project, and I kept it as my little gizmo, not gizmo, my little thumbnail that turns around. So something I sculpted for them and kept for myself. Which version are you going for? Classic, blue and yellow? Yeah, 100% Tony. So I kind of block the colors in. I had a suit. I just kind of got rid of it because I'm fixing the anatomy. But it's all this blue right here. In fact, now I can erase some more. This is how I do. I'll fix a little bit, erase, move on to the next part, which is nice. Uh-oh. Let's go with this. Just do color. This all gets covered up by the belt anyway. I don't even know why I'm tripping. But I guess better to have it right. I get a little ADHD about this, so you gotta bear with me. Make sure that his ribs kind of stay the right shape, It's very easy for me to mess around and turn into this, him having a cube kind of upper body instead of it looking like it should. Good to look at this stuff from different angles. And this is by no means done. I know there's a whole lot of people chomping at the bit to tell me what's wrong with the anatomy. It's not done. It'll get there. Don't you worry about it. Don't you make me look bad on my own stream. Turn this car right around and go home, you guys. Old? Back in the control. What I missed. That's a lot of stuff I missed here. Let's see. Where do you sign up for mentorship? Daniel, hit me on my art station. It's at the top there, but it's just Mike T Artworks. Mike T Artworks on IG. All right. See, Gabriel. Don't make me look bad, man. Don't do that. Collarbone is too low. No, thank you. I'll get it. Collarbone should be in the middle of the shoulder. Right. See? This is why I don't like to share things with people. Because they immediately tell me what I'm not doing right. I was just kidding. Hey Mike, is there a okay, I just did that. Wait, portfolio reviews for aspiring sculptors such as yourself. Yeah, holler at me after the show. Professor X can move things with his mind. Why can't he move his legs? Oh man, that's messed up. I mean, you would think he could fly, right? He could just make himself fly. How do you sculpt? And because your character is already posed. Okay, so what I did for the head, just so you guys know, is I set up symmetry, and then I did like posable symmetry for the head. So if I come over here and I solo it out, I can see it's looking real janky right now. So we'll definitely be addressing the head. But if I come over here You see how it maintains symmetry because I turn on posable symmetry. That was one of the areas where I knew that I do not want to lose symmetry is the head. All right. Gabriel, sorry, XX. No, it's all good. Not a big fan of superheroes that have their underwear on the outside. You know what? I looked at it with the underwear on the outside. We're gonna do something. We're gonna make these look better because it looked cool until I turned on the underoos. Like you turn those off, it looks way better. Yeah. Shout out to John. I might lose the undies. Do you like Asian girls? I think you're not a real person. You have an online class. Yeah, so I teach right now for CG Spectrum, but it's mostly 2D stuff. It is concept art, but I'm talking to another school about doing some ZBrush classes. In the process of working that out right now. I might be doing that. When I have more info, I'll announce it. But like I said, I have been doing what's it called? I've been doing mentoring for people. We can get in and address whatever issues you have, whatever you want to work on to be better, blah 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 blah. Let's delete this. Delete that one. Yes. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. T. There you go. I'm sorry, Emerson. I no habla español. Which school? CG Spectrum. That's the name of the school. Hello, Yasin. Is that my student? Might be a student of mine. The 3D classes you're going to start in the future. I haven't said yes to the job yet, so I don't know if I should say. But it's Michael Pavlovich is teaching there, so I'm sure you could figure it out. I met them yesterday, very nice people. I just need to figure out if my schedule will allow me to do it. I want to use actual photos for this. Let's open up a different reference board. Where do you activate posable symmetry? So you have to do it when your character is still in your relaxed pose. And then you go under transform. You hit activate symmetry. And then you click on use posable symmetry. Then you can move them however you want. Now don't do what I did. The problem I was having last session, in my last ZBrush Live, was I like to chop my characters up. And once you change your, I guess your point order by removing things and Z-remeshing and all that, it's all out the window. So you have to have your original mesh in symmetry. You click on X and you kind of, have it so that everything is where it's supposed to be. And then you click posable symmetry, then you can pose it. Then you're good to go. I wanted him to have like a really extreme pose, so I chopped his lower leg off and bent that and really went I ripped his arms off, I think, and all that stuff. I like to vivisection my dudes to get them in the most dynamic pose as possible. Then I put them back together again. Call me Frankenstein. That's everything. Wow, I'm actually caught up with the chat. That's a first. First for me. Oh, I said I was going to open that other Pure Rep. Pure Rep. Decent. Bodybuilder. Let's get this one. There you go. So it's interesting what you find relaxing, like this kind of stuff. Kind of working on the anatomy until it's right is something that I find kind of relaxing, as opposed to my normal 9 to 5, which is usually illustration. And then I have a friend, my friend Tony, that's in here, actually is, and probably no one else said this ever, but Tony really loves making UVs and retopoing characters, and he's so good at it, it's crazy. I hate that, but to each their own. So those guys are always like super clean, and he takes them into Substance and they look like amazing, like animation ready, as opposed to what I do, which is real ugly. How long do you usually take to make a sculpture in ZBrush? It depends. I'm getting faster. So the thing that's kind of dope about my stream on Friday with Danny and Bradley is we only give ourselves a month, right? So like basically 4 weeks to complete whatever it is we're working on. And I'll just pull it up real quick. Let's see. So, like on my art station here, this is the last thing that we worked on, right? So, that I worked on. Not the last thing, the first thing we worked on, right? And I did a paint over, so it doesn't, like it didn't start off like this, but it did used to look kind of like this. And I have all the videos that Dan and I did, you know, working up to getting to that stage. And then this was like a ZBrush Live where I actually worked on it too. But it's cool because you get to see the entire process, you know what I'm saying? And when that is done, because I'm an illustrator, I like to paint over things, and that's how I got it to look, you know, more furry like that. So. If you haven't already, give us a subscribe, and on Friday you'll dig it. I know, right? Jay Murphy. I know, right? It's crazy. He loves them. He loves them. He loves them. He would, if he wasn't married already, Tony Gore would totally marry UVs. What are the benefits of taking apart the limbs and posing instead of using transpose mat? So I do both, but the benefit is if I go back to this real quick. The benefit is like if I go to something like my my Venom here, I really wanted that leg to be bent kind of hard, and I pulled his arm back, and I didn't want to have to worry about really stretching out the pecs and having to, you know, resculpt a lot of the stuff that gets kind of distorted and messed up. So I just chopped off the leg. Like the leg is really only where I needed to do it. Everything else I could just use Transpose Master and it doesn't get that messed up. but I can get that deep bend without having to really, without having to really go in and mess around with it too much. So I like to, it's like my new thing. I like cutting up models. I think I did that for the one that I'm selling the tutorial to, like this guy. Same deal, his arm, I think maybe I did. I'm lying, I didn't use it for this. Sorry, you guys caught me. But I just find it easier. So same thing with his leg, just chop it off. It's blowing up. All right, just had to make sure that wasn't my kids. You being so satisfied when it's about to use clean. Yeah, and it's crazy because Danny, Point Pusher, his stuff looks amazing, and he takes it into Substance, and it's bonkers. Like, wait till you see our thing tomorrow. If you guys are already checking out Stylus League, when you see where he is tomorrow, it's so dope. I don't have the patience for UVs. Hey, Pablo from Brazil. No worries, Jamie. Let's get back to this, and I have my good reference. Let's get my good reference over here. I have somebody that's even... Let's get the pack. turn off. When the belts are low res like this, they just really mess up my silhouette. So I'm gonna move those for now. When I fix them, they're all good. Use Photoshop after you finish the sculpt to render. Yeah, so I will render in KeyShot mostly, and then I'll take it into Photoshop and do some cleanup. If I do paint overs, I will go into Corel Painter and do my paint over for that. So perfect example of that is this piece. So this started off, I did this for that class that I'm teaching actually, and started as Z-spheres and then sculpted them up to this point, did some poly painting, and then paint over was done in Corel Painter. So you can see the detail. And the fish is pooping inside of the bowl. Boom! Didn't notice that, did you? I'm very mature for my age. Oh. Alright. And vertex painting better than substance painter. Nah, you know what? So I love the way that Substance Painter makes things look. I use painting right in. This is all very. This is all dramatic. Turn it down. Yeah, so I like to poly paint in here because I just want to get it to a state where I'm either going to paint over it or I'm going to send it to a client, right? Like if I'm sending it to Sideshow, they don't need it to be, a baller substance paint. Working on a project now where just some flat colors did the trick, but I love Substance Painter's look. So I say that because one day I plan to get my UV game up, and then I'm going to start using it even. I did a piece that was done in Substance, and it actually came out kind of dope. Let me show you this. I keep going back into here. Sorry, it's the last time for real. But I did this Carnage, which is not in here. Sorry. All right, well, I did a Carnage somewhere, and it was in Substance Painter, and it looked way better than any of my vertex painting. For you to make a complete model, it takes on average how long? It varies. If I'm doing it for a client, it can, you know, it can take maybe a month and a half, 2 months. If I am doing it for myself, probably longer, because I'm going to like really sweat the details, you know, sweat the small stuff, and it may not get done at all. That's kind of why I love the fact that we have to get the stuff done in Stylist League, right? And it's our own personal work. We're treating our work like client work, which is dope. You can see this arm has got no attention, so that's why it looks so wacky right now. Love to grab this every once in a while. I have a Andrew Carr's statue, which is probably my best purchase ever. It allows me to see what I'm doing. Missing something here. What happened to that? Is that a hole? Sure is. Oh no. Okay. I don't mind this being dirty at first. I just want to try to get the forms figured out, and then when I do, I can refine them and clean them up until they look the way that they're supposed to. But this is kind of how that whole, the whole body started out. It's really kind of messy until it wasn't. You can see I don't use a whole lot of brushes. Like, I'm basically using 4 brushes for everything. So, not to get too fancy with it. I think you can get good results by sticking with stuff that makes you comfortable. Now, when I move on to things like alphas for texturing his uniform and stuff like that, that'll probably be my next stream. ZBrush, and then I'll start to change it up a little bit. Hole there. All right. Okay, I'm not gonna sweat it right now. It just doesn't be there. I got quiet, you guys. I just trying to figure out some stuff here. All right, what I missed? Let's see. Oh, okay. Wow, I missed a lot of stuff. All right. So you like my Batman improvement earlier? Totally. Nice. Good job. I'll work on forums clip. Dope. Nice job, Jamie. Thank you, Daniel Coe. Do you share your pure ref files? Thank you, Jay. Yeah, so no, just go to my Pinterest. My Pinterest is the same as everything else. It's just and it's at Mike T Artworks. And I have all my stuff from my boards there. I just kind of add to it all the time. Mari Cat, what's up? Ooh, Saf, what's up? What's up, Lee? Hey, Saeed. Which software? This is ZBrush. Jojoba. What's going on? Thanks, Leo. What pressure you keep in your pen tab property? So I like to, when I'm sculpting muscles like this, right? Like when I'm kind of finessing them, I turn down my clay buildup pretty low. Like right now, oops, some of them move. Like right now it's at 20. But like when I'm really going in and cleaning it up, like if you look over at, say, his, you know, his leg here, that's me turning it down to like I'll turn it down like 7 and then go in and you can barely see it, but it gets clean, man. Like I can really dial in exactly what I want it to look like. So I like that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Back. Light is kind of bothering me here. You notice I keep rotating it around because I want to make sure that that it looks good from all the different angles. Usually if I do that enough, I start to get the forms that I'm looking for. If you guys like this process and you want to see the entire thing, you can pick up my anti-venom gum road. I show you exactly like how I did everything. Also, I start off by doing anatomy for just a basic base mesh from ZBrush, and work my way up to the pose, and then I start to dial in the anatomy once it's in pose, the same way I'm doing here. So if you like this, you can pick that up. Either on ArtStation, Gumroad, whatever. It's going to be easier for me to get the muscles right and then make them smaller, because I mean, like I said, this is Cyclops and he's not known for being, you know, a heavyweight. But I think that, you know, this is probably not a bad process. Oh, my cat, man. You can set the clock by my cat. She wants attention like right now. Yeah, once I get this figured out, then I can just use the move tool on a lower sub-D level, or maybe even retopo it lower than it is right now, and I can kind of move these around, these muscles around, make them smaller. Wow, I wasn't even thinking about saving. All right, let's see. Is it firm or soft or in the middle of it? You're talking about the pen pressure. So if I go to Wacom settings, let's see. I mean, the third one over, so, you know, little less than normal. We need Bradley up in here, loving the cycle. Nicely. Thank you. Yeah. Bradley makes it better, man. I can field these questions. Shout out to Lee, Stylist League, son. Hi, Mike. Hello from France. Always amazing. Thanks, man. Design 777. Like the music. Thank you. Coming out dope. Thank you. Pen pressure. I just went over it. Nice tutorial. Thank you, man. Thanks, Fies. Hey, Mike. How did you get into sculpting? Asymmetrical tip for sculpting. Yeah. So I and it's funny, like Bradley will tell you this, I was not really feeling the why is this not working now? 1 second. Oh crap, what happened? A pen. 1 second. Okay, that was weird. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So when I was working on the Arthur character, I didn't care about it. Like I really didn't like it until it got into until I started to get it into the pose, and then oops. Right, and then once I got him into pose, I really was kind of feeling the I was really feeling him, right? Like I still didn't finish him, obviously, but you know, having that arm up high and the other one kind of heroic, made me dig it. I don't know why I didn't do more than just one turn, but anyway. This is here. This is here. This is here. Tips for doing it, I would say get comfortable with working in symmetry, and then when you feel pretty comfortable with it, go ahead and break symmetry and continue to, you know, just sculpt the arms and stuff. Try to make one arm look like the other arm as far as the you know, the mass goes, and you know, once you get that, do the same thing with the legs, and you know, eventually you'll really kind of be feeling it, or you won't, you know what I mean? Like, it's not for everybody. I know a lot of people that really don't like the way that I sculpt. They would rather keep stuff in symmetry all the way up until the end and then throw a rig in it. Tony Gore and Bradley, Brad Gropen, I'm looking at you, but that's, you know, that's not the way that I like to do things. I get excited about it when it's in pose because it's not, you know, the static thing just is boring to me, you know? It could look great, and then I can start posing it in Transpose Master and destroy all my details. You know, I have to end up resculpting the muscles all over again. So I keep a low enough subdivision level that it's not usually that bad, but you know, you never know. Never know. This dramatic music was going to be for the anti-venom sizzle reel. Skip that. There you go. Would I be able to send you my forearms piece for some crit? Yeah, man. Hit me on Instagram. Shoot me a message in Instagram. Give me a follow, and then shoot it over. What's up? If you had double-sided turned on, you can see what's happening on the elbow better. Yeah, I did turn it on, actually. That's how I was able to see what was happening. But it looks like there is just like a there's just like a strand that kind of goes across here that's not needed. Normally I would just delete that and close the holes and keep it moving. I mean, I could still do that. Let's do this. I'm going to do a retopo on this guy. First, let me clean this arm up a little bit. So I'm going to kind of clean up this forearm. Then I'll do a retopo and I'll get rid of that mess going on the inside. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I do want that elbow to transition into the forearm to transition into the bicep a little better. So, clean up. And I can't remember who was asking me about how long it takes me for a piece. I'm way faster now than I used to be. Like, ask any of the guys I came up with. My friend Jerry, Master Xeon, is the guy who does box cutter and hard ops. Like, he was around from day zero when I first started learning ZBrush, and he used to make fun of me for how long I would take when I was in the old Hangout. So, you know, now I'm way faster than I was then. It's just getting your 10,000 hours in. I'm still not, I mean, hey, I'm no Ralph Grassetti, I'll tell you that. But I don't know many people that are. Richie Mason or those guys. Like, there's a lot of guys who are way faster and, quite frankly, better. But a little faster than I was a year ago. I think that's good enough to move over to retopo. But before I do, let's just take a look at something. Face off. Last on the visor 2. Turn up the head. It looks big now. Okay. It looks way big, actually. It's so big. Just turn that down. Just lock that. That. That'll work. So let's get to the retopo, and then I can mess around with the head for a minute. First, what I'll do, oh, it looks like his knee moved too. What happened here? This leg needs to be retopoed too. I don't even have any, like, I think I'm still on Sculptris Pro for this. All right, so now I'm gonna take, Leo's asking, am I gonna 3D print this? Probably at some point. I gotta do my bishop first, I think. The thing too, I'm not a big Cyclops fan. I don't really like Cyclops that much. This is a little teaser as to what's gonna be the topic of our next Stylus League sculpt topic on Friday, but I will let you know that has something to do with the words that just came out of my mouth. Do you understand the words that just came out of my mouth? If you don't say, hey Mike from Barcelona, what's up? Saw your whip earlier, looks awesome. Thanks. Oh, Ashley, thank you, Ashley. Yo, Mike, any advice for those who procrastinate a lot and then the deadline is near and the work they work like slaves? How can we change those bad habits? Yes, lose one job, Damien. If you lose one job because of procrastination, I guarantee you will never procrastinate again. So, true story. I used to be I was an artist with the company in Philadelphia. I was actually the creative director. Long story short, the company went belly up, right? But the silver lining was I had a relationship with the printer. It was a t-shirt company. So I started working at the t-shirt company and I was just like a staff artist. But the problem was I lived, I don't know, like a mile away from the place. So every morning I was like, I don't have to get up early. I can get there no matter when. I'd be late every morning because I lived so close and I would just constantly sleep in and take it for granted or whatever. My boss told me, he was like, hey Mike, stop coming in late, like for real. And I said, oh, okay, all right, I got you. And I did it again and walked in and he was like, hey, why don't you go home for the day? And I was like, oh man, no, I overslept, my dog ate it, whatever. I had all these excuses. He's like, no, go home. Like, am I fired? He's like, I don't know, I got to think about it. And I went home and he let me come in the next day and told me I still had my job. I was never late again. So I tell you all that to tell you, fear of losing a job will make you really get your crap together and always be on time. So that's it. Take that, Damien. ML, thank you. Love from India. What's up, Sandeep? Does the anti-venom video contain hard surface as well? Anti-venom doesn't have hard surface. I don't usually do a whole lot of hard surface. I think the Stylus League is what you want to watch from last month, because that's where I did this guy, and this is probably the most hard surfacey type stuff I've done, and that was all done with ZModeler, by the way. Everything's ZModeler. So you can go watch those. Subscribe to Stylus League on YouTube. You can watch all those videos of how I did it. Danny does it the right way. Like, he does like straight up Maya hard surface stuff, and it looks dope, like really awesome. So you get to see it both ways, actually. Both sides. Can't wait for Stylus. Nice, Jamie. Nice. Insane. Looks like you should be laying down. Bearskin rug. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, let me turn on the other stuff, because that's not the look I'm going for. It's not Deadpool. Where did you learn advanced, intermediate, ZModeler, ZBrush? I struggle sometimes doing basic stuff. So Lee, all my ZModeler stuff I kind of picked up from my friend Tony Gore and the ZBrush classroom. Tony kind of came out the box. He was a lifelong Maya guy, and he really just embraced it and showed me that it's not really that hard if you give it a chance. So that's how I picked up using ZModeler, actually. In addition to being a retopo guy, he's also a ZModeler guy. Go figure. How do you transpose and scale the subtools together as one? Oh, okay, I'll show you. All right, I'm gonna turn on his head and his underwears. Oh, they don't fit anymore. All right, let me fix those. All right, let's fix his drawers real quick. All right. Crisis averted. So if I wanted to take those and the optic blast and turn those on, like right now I'm on the underoos. So if I was to try to scale these, you see what happens? It just only does this one thing. But if you check all the way to the right and click on what I like to call these pizza boxes, turn them all on, you have all the checks turned on, that's going to affect everything that is visible and unmasked. So now what I can do is I can scale, and it all masks, it all scales, right? Now you may be asking yourself, why aren't the hands moving? How come the hands aren't scaling? So let's undo that. If I click on the hands, you see that they're masked. That one's masked, and that's masked. So once I clear those masks, go back to the drawers and scale, now everything scales. So this is a great way to move selective subtools at one time without having to go into transpose master. All right. How many gigabytes of RAM do I have? I have 128 gigs of the Baller Corsair colory RAM, Corsair LED RAM, whatever it's called. But you don't need a whole lot of RAM for ZBrush. 32. For ZBrush, you're good, Van. You don't need a ton of RAM for this. Now, if you wanted to go in and start doing, you know, more stuff that kind of leans into the RAM, it's definitely going to make a difference, like you know, other applications. 32 should be fine. Did you see the Masters of the Universe trailer? I did see that, Jamie. I saw it, and I will tell you, I'm going to give you a preview of an extended rant that I plan to have tomorrow. or not tomorrow. Let's say Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow on Stylus League. So there's 2 songs that I don't like, and I'm only going to mention one. I don't like a lot of songs, but right, this song bothers me, and it's "I Need a Hero." It just does, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan, and I find it very telling that the new Masters of the Universe trailer, the new Guardians of the Galaxy game trailer, and the cold open of Loki all featured that song. It's a conspiracy, is all I'm saying, I think. Alright, let's ZBrush this guy. I'm super excited about the new Masters of the Universe, by the way. Thank you. Hey, Goldis. You rock also. Hello from Italy. What's up? 124 gigs RAM. Yeah. Thanks, Daniel. Why not what? Why don't I like the song? Is it important to know A and P for this? What is A and P? I see that. Atom Machine. What is A and P? Where can I get your cloth brushes? Fix it advanced. So I don't really have cloth brushes. I've been using the just the ones that come with ZBrush. Are you talking about like the Happy Trails thing that I have? This one? It's not working. Oh, because I have color set. You talking about this thing? This is a brush I made with my friend Brad Groban. Actually, Brad might have made it, and I think I renamed it. So that was my contribution. Say, hi Mike, excited for any upcoming movie TV shows? Yeah, totally. I'm excited super excited for the new season of I Think You Should Leave. Big Tim Robinson fan. I love the Detroiters, and so I can't wait for that. I'm excited about Rick and Morty. It's about to drop the new Rick and Morty finally, and I want to see the new Chris Pratt Tomorrow War, whatever it's called, on Amazon Prime. Excited about those. Want to union the hand of the body, but when I do that, it also adds union self-intersecting fingers. Is there a way to union without unioning the self-intersecting parts? You mean they're like bent and they're kind of unioning together that way? Is that what you're talking about? Van, let me know. To me, the new Master Universe heads appear too small. Probably. The bodies were too big, that's the thing. Andre, thank you. Gabriel, thank you. I especially want to send you the Kobe model I made modification because I can't find problems. Yeah, I mean, hit me up in Instagram. Let me see what you got. Dan says yes. Yeah, what I would do for that is polygroup them first. So like if I go to my hands, this is all done using so I did Z. All right, so I Z remeshed this and this one as well, I think, but not these fingers, right? So here's where you would run into that problem. These fingers right here are they're just like soloed out, right? Like I just made these and I put them over the hand, right? So if I wanted them to remain like not kind of, well, they're not touching. I mean, this part right here is gonna kind of mesh together. But if they were really bent like this, then I would just make sure that the pose was right before I did the union, either the boolean Dynamesh or whatever. You know what I mean? That's how I would do it. Oh, that pinky, that's not in the right place. Alright, anyway, let's remesh the dude real quick. And then I'll move on to his head, because his head is real janky right now. It's a mess. I've inherited a mess. Cyclops has to be drinking them protein shake. I know, right? Yeah, he's jacked. Got that velociraptor shake. How do you get high quality details when I want to pass formally I switch from Dynamesh to ZBrush 56K to 6 million subdivisions? But doing tiny details like this to low resolution. So let's see how many polys I have on the body. Right now he is right under 1 million at the top, right? And if I go down to the lowest sub-D level, he's 55,000 points. And you see, even at 55,000 points, I have a lot of detail that's still showing here. Like, it still looks pretty crispy. That's because originally when I was sculpting this, I had it at the top resolution level with no subdivisions. And I used Sculptures Pro to really kind of block in the forms. Didn't look like this, like it was way worse than this, but I was able to then take it and do a Z remesh. Let's do it now, because remember I said I was going to do it anyway. So I'll show you how I do it. Easier just to show. So let's clone this guy, come up here. And I do this a lot when I'm cutting and keying, like I'm doing this project now for a client, and I have to do a whole lot of kind of splitting off parts, closing holes, keying, dynameshing, and then doing either a decimation or retopo, just to keep everything like super clean, and then I reproject back the details. So what I'll do is duplicate this, all right, just so I'm not going to lose anything. Let's move this out of the way. Let's move this over here. I'll delete lower sub-D levels, right? So now see that it's just the high subdivision. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go into that problem area I had with the arm. Solo it out. Actually, let's do this. I'm not even going to solo it out. I'll do this. All right, so what I could do is just hide and then like delete hid and then close holes, but what I'm going to do is go to my Sculptures Pro, and I'm just going to smooth this and it'll disappear, right? So that goes. I can just smooth some more, and you see how it kind of just cleans it up. Like that. And then if I make it smaller, then I can keep the detail and just smooth a bit more. I look over here and I see I kind of have that kind of messed up area there, so I can smooth over here, clean it up. Wherever I have pinching that I don't want, like I don't really want it to be so pinched between the bicep and the forearm, so I'll just smooth that out. Sculptures Pro. How that looks. I just don't want to fold there. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't want it to, I don't want geometry to be folded on top of one another. I just kind of want it to terminate on where they meet. look at it, see what it looks like. Yeah, see, that's all on top of each other. So now I'm looking at it. What I could actually do here is I could just hide the green. Oops, hide the green. Come on now. Go. Oh, snap. All right, undo. I don't know why I did that. Let's hide the green. Sometimes you have to switch to the marquee. There you go. Okay. So it all has to be resculpted again anyway in there, so I'm just going to up the size of my brush, then use Sculptris Pro. Even more. There you go. Right. And I'm just going to make a nice clean kind of break between these two forms. Like that. Right. So I am going to use polygroups to keep it, you know, kind of organized. So I want to make sure that I don't have any, you know, unnecessary groups. So I'm going to group this together. And I don't want these little, see how after using Sculptris Pro I have these little stragglers here? I'm going to group those as their own thing. Okay, let's hide those. Come back over to the green part. Add these pieces that should be on the other one. Grab my lasso. Okay. Alright, so I want those to be together like they are. I have some holes over here. That means they're on with the green. Let's find them. There they are. Okay, hide those. Alright, now everything is together, right? Should be. Yeah, okay. So now group this. Come back over to the green part. I'm going to hide everything but this half of the body. That, and now those parts that were kind of they got switched around. I'm gonna group that together. So there, that's good. All right, so I now can take this and I'm going to do, I don't want to have a whole lot of separate groups because I want this to be clean. I'm going to group this together. You know, I did all that. Okay, I'll leave the forearm separate. Okay. And now I'm going to do a ZBrush. First, I'll save a history state and go over to my geometry, ZBrusher. Change my settings a little bit, and right now it's at like 890 points, 890,000 points. I'm going to set that to 5. Yeah, let's try 5 first and see what happens. Let's remesh. See how this turns out. In the meantime, I'll read over here. Let's see. Unrealistic body standards. Who would you refer for more ZModeler info? Where can we find more of your content? So you can find more of my content on all the links above. My site is on there. Ooh, I lost an entire polygon. That's weird. All right, so let me turn up this to, let's say 8. Let's see what happens on that. Let's see, try it again. Yeah, Instagram. My website is miketartworks.com. See more of my stuff there. All over the place. Thank you, though. Let's see. Where was I? How do I change my orientation head where you VC put a boot? What are you talking about, Daniel? What you mean, brother? That's on. Are you going to Dynamesh everything together or keep it separate? So I'm not going to... Oh, did it do anything? No, it did not. I'm not going to Dynamesh it. I am going to Boolean the parts together and then do what I'm doing right now, which is to ZRemesh once they're all together. Hey, the Marco, yo. Thanks, Mickey. That dude is literally ripped. He's ripped into pieces! Mike, you, Grissetti, and Bell, the go-to inspiration. Dude, you put me in the company of masters, but thank you. Daniel Bell and Grissetti are on some whole other, but thank you. It's very nice of you. Oh, nice. J. Murphy hit up Daniel. Nice. Lincoln from Zimbabwe. What's up, man? So I must have... I didn't see. There must have been an error message that popped up because it's not doing it. Let me check the mesh integrity. Yeah, okay. So there's a common edge shared by a polygon. More than one polygon. Let's fix it. So that's fixed. Now I'll try to ZRemesh. And I'm going to set it. I'll set it for 10. Let's see. 1,000. So add geometry, also smooth the mesh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the more dense the mesh is, the smoother it gets. Well, let me rephrase that. Not the smoother it gets. You can still have a really wonky looking mesh, but it will smooth out the details. Yeah, that's not what I want. All right, let's just try half. Do you start in Dynamesh? No, I don't really use Dynamesh that much. I use it for when I'm cutting and keying, but other than that, I don't really use it to sculpt all that much. I use the Sculptris Pro, so it's kind of like 6 on one hand, half dozen on the other. Same principle. Kind of the same thing. All right, that's better, right? And it's clean. That's 130,000, so that's not too shabby. And you see it's keeping a lot of detail for 130,000 points. So now what I can do is I can project back my details from the original one. So I'll go to project history. I'll make sure that I have geometry and color turned on this time and project the details. That crisps it up a little bit. All right, I want to see if I can make this even lower. And then that way I can really go in and change the volumes of these forms, because it's mad huge. Like Cyclops never looked this big. You little punk. Okay, let's do half and try it again and see what happens. Looks like Green Goblin. Green Goblin? Okay. All right, that's 56,000. It's getting better, still keeping a lot of detail. So I'm not mad at that. I'm going to duplicate this because I like it so much, and then I'll do half again and see what that looks like. So let's try it one more time. Yeah, now we're talking, right? Like, this is good. So now I can go in and really mess around with those forms, and I don't have to worry about it getting too wobbly, right? So I can take this now. Wow, that did a really good job. ZRemesh is crazy. Sometimes it is so on point, it surprises me. Like, that's super crisp. It's really good. But then other times, you know, it's like, it's hit or miss. This time was amazing. So I will now go and turn off the poly frame and go to my subtool. Let's save this so I don't lose it. No. You're insane, you're crazy. No, that's... You'll find out tomorrow. You'll find out tomorrow, Insane Pixel. Now that, let's get through. Thanks, Panos. Greetings from Argentina. What is up? Argentina has amazing steak. Beef in general. I had the best burger I've ever had in my life in a hotel room in Argentina, you guys. Try to censor his junk by removing that. It's funny. Hey man, looking good here in Houston, Texas, approaching the process of the work. Thanks for me. Nice. What's up so much 3D? Daniel, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, the caps aren't making it any clearer. You gotta tell me what you're talking about, and then I'll explain it to you. How do I change my orientation where I VC put a boot? I don't know what you mean. Spell it out for me. All right, so now I'm going to divide it once and then project the history. Okay, and this is less than 100,000 points, and it looks pretty close to the original. Like, check it out. This is the original at almost 1 million. This is the projection at under 100,000 points. Like, that remesh was crazy. So I'm going to now divide it one more time and project one more time. So that's at 391. That's 391. That's almost 900,000. So this is good enough for me. Yeah, good enough for me. And it fixed the inside of his arm. Let's just make sure. Yeah, inside of that arm is nice. That'll do. All right. Let's see the other one. I'll divide it one more time. What the heck? I don't have to be stingy with my polygons. I just like that now I can step down to the lowest subdivision level. So I can go from 1.5 million and okay, all right. It was only a matter of time before the spam like came in hardcore. So I'll step down. All right, this is 24,000 points. The reason I want to have it so low is now if I take my move tool and I decide this guy's way too big to be Cyclops, want to move these things around, I can go in and make these moves without it getting really kind of, ugly. Make the arm smaller, they need to be smaller. I still want him to have heroic proportions, you know, but at the same time, like I said, Cyclops is a sucker, so I don't want to be too big. I apologize for any Cyclops fans. Much easier for me to go in and make these changes at 22,000, 25,000 points, as opposed to if I had it at 1.5 million points. You know, like I can, but it just stays cleaner if it's lower. And like I can smooth out some of these parts that are a little wonky. And then step up and I still have the sculpting detail. All right, so I think now we can go and see if I can get some of this head done before the end of the stream here, because his head is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Needs work. All right, so I like that. I'm going to copy it, copy. Come back to my other one and replace it. I will take this one and delete it. And yes, it's okay. And paste. All right, so there's the good one. Start to turn his gear back on. Underwear. Yeah, these underwears are going, son. No drawers for Cyclops. He's got on the MCU version of this suit. They don't wear underwear on the outside. Turn off dynamic. So you can see that for all of the belts and stuff, I just had dynamic subdivision turned on. So I can easily go in and adjust this without it getting too warped, you know. And then if it does, I just turn off the I'll just delete a point and, you know, or edge and add another one, something like that. Like I can see at the top already, it's a little worrisome. So now what I can do is I can go in with my Z modeler, delete this edge and delete this edge. Thanks, whoever that is. Here, we want here. Right, and now turn on dynamic. Oh, I do want to have those holding lines, so let's do one here. All right, so if you guys are liking this, you find it helpful, do me a favor and give me a subscribe on my YouTube, and one for the Stylist League, which you have, you'll see links on my YouTube page. And check us out on Friday nights. Tomorrow, it's Friday 9 p.m. East Coast, so depending upon wherever you are, it's going to be that time. It will be Bradley, Danny, and I working on stuff. Brad's going to keep the moderation going, and Danny and I will be working on a brand new project. It's a good time. We have 2 months worth of videos up already. So if you like the idea of seeing a project from beginning to completion, you can check it out on Stylist League on YouTube. If you want to see my entire process for sculpting a character, you can get my Gumroad for sculpting Anti-Venom. It's on my Gumroad page, which is, let's give you a link straight up, let's see. Should have had that ready to go, you guys. Let's see. Go. So here's the link, and the link to my Gumroad is all right, done plugging. Let's see. I think Daniel's asking about how you got the boot on the top right. Oh. Okay. All right. Got you. Sorry about that. So, I'll show you real quick. And then we'll get started on the head. All right. So, let's say I like this dude as my avatar, right? What I can do is I can kind of center him up. I can go into preferences and go to cam view, and I can say make cam view. And what that does is it takes pictures of this thing from every single angle, and then it saves it. So now, see, I got my guy there. So now my guy is the new cam view. Right? So I had a boot that I was using as my, and you can make this as large or small as you want, right? Like, let's see. I think you can, let's see. Preferences, cam view. Oh no, that's as big as it gets. Okay. But if you render it, you can do like a BPR. It just takes a little bit longer, and then you can do a cam view and it will have all your shadows. So that's how I got the boot there. Sorry, I didn't know what you were talking about. Thank you for explaining that to me. And then if I go through these, hopefully my boot is still in here. Oops. Next. Yeah, so like I did one for the Venom head. The background is not right, but next. There it is. Oh crap, I passed it. The only thing you got to go all the way through if you miss it. There it is. Cool. All right, so that's how I add the boot. Let's back over here. Of course, of course. Golden ticket, that's funny. You guys are welcome. The viewport, Magneto, and Wolverine are my favorites. Oh, yeah, they're everybody's favorites. Nobody likes Cyclops. Thanks, guys. Man, fantastic. Mike, in your opinion, what's the best way to get into the industry? Make figures yourself? Yeah, get your portfolio together. I think if you're going to be a generalist, then show that type of work. If you want to do something very specific, then make sure that that's represented in your portfolio, and get yourself a nice web page or art station or whatever the case may be, and you're good to go. Texture turned on. Texture. See, it saves it in the texture. See, there's my Cyclops, and then you can hit save, and it'll export it so that you can always have it. But I don't want that. I want to clear this, so I'll click R. I want anything. I want texture. Texture. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I would say the Marcoyo. Tune in tomorrow to the Stylist League with Danny Williams and I, Point Pusher, because he's actually worked in the gaming and animation industry, and he can tell you way better than I can. So he's been with DreamWorks and Blue Sky, and he's worked on franchises like not Dreamlanders. What is it called? What was the video game? Skylanders. And now he's at Netflix Animation, so he can definitely answer the question a lot better than I can. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of polys if you want to have a lot of detail. That's just what it is. So if you look at, I said I was going to get out of here. But like if you check out my Hulk, so on my Hulk, I had a lot of detail, like skin pores and all that. And where's the one with the skin pores? This one, I guess. So for this one, I had to subdivide this quite a bit in order to keep like the fingers and the fingernails and all that stuff. Like it was pretty high, like way higher than I normally would work. But you know, the good thing about it is it kept those details. So you guys can't see behind me. Oh, I moved it. Well, of course you can't see behind me because it's not there. But if you look at this, I 3D printed it, right? And it kept all of those details. It's way too shiny because I didn't spray a matte coat on it, but you can see that it kept all the details of the that were in the sculpt. That's it. That. Up. The video shows where you find the campy in the settings. Yeah, alright, so cool. Make sure that your fingers do not stick together when Dynamesh. You're going to have them spaced apart. You're going to have to like physically spread the fingers and then Dynamesh. Same thing goes for when you're doing a retopo. This is part of the reason why I hate retopoing things like toes, because you really got to like monkey toe them, like spread them super far apart in order to get them not to Z-remesh together or Dynamesh together or anything like that. All right. I said I was going to do the face. I'm going to do the face. because I don't have any on here. I had one with James Marsden on it. Where is that? Not this kid. Ugh. Sorry, actor whose name I don't know. You're not hashtag not my Cyclops. Man, oh man. That's kind of dope, actually. That one's fresh. I like the open mouth. I like him screaming. Like the Capcom ones. Fresh. I like that. Well, I can always open his mouth and give him an expression after I make it look like an actual person. All right, here's Marsden here. Better. Save this too. Probably be a good idea to save. And I did change his body completely, so let's save it as a new version. So it's 12. Yes. Oh no. Wait a minute. What happened to my posable symmetry? Transform. Disposable symmetry. There it is. Whew, I was worried. This is where it fell apart last time, you guys. And what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to, whoa, I just gave him fish lips. I'm going to delete, let's divide it one more time. Delete the lower, delete lower. Come on. And then I'll turn on Sculptures Pro. So now I don't have to worry about the topology getting in my way. Oh, dude. Oh! Wait a minute. Can I still do it? Use posable symmetry. Okay, woo, I thought I lost it. Wait a minute. Oh, you son of a... Alright, I can't do what I just did. Let me undo it. Alright, no Sculptures Pro. I'm very kind of... I'm not well versed at posable symmetry. So, I guess that's one of the things you can't do, what I just tried to do. I'm sure it'd be way more helpful to have like more angles of his head or somebody's head. It doesn't have to be him. I'm just kind of using him because of all the Cyclopses, I think he was probably my favorite movie one. Of all two, he's my favorite. He was dope in Westworld, so I give him a pass for X-Men. So now the only thing about this posable symmetry is like I can't remesh this or you lose it. So I do know that much. But I think I can, yeah, I can subdivide it, I think. Come on. You just have to turn it on every time? Is that the deal? So, disposable symmetry. Yeah, just gotta turn it on. The light is too bright. Let's see what's happening. Go away, Casino Man. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, PBR textures would be dope, Jackie. Insane pixel. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, this casino thing is crazy. Hey, Kyle, come on, man. You gotta boot these guys. How do you decide when poses for the character? So I just kind of looked at a bunch of different stuff, and I wanted him to look different than my last couple of sculpts. So so this is kind of where I landed. I wanted him to feel like he was leaping. This thing that he's shooting out of the air doesn't particularly look very scary. Maybe I'll change it. But, you know, it kind of is what it is right now. His mouth needs to be closed because it's looking crazy. Come on. Trying to get just the lower jaw, but I can't. So I will. Yes. A second. Oh, okay. See what I'm doing there? What's the name of your channel? For YouTube, it's right above. It's Mike T Artwork without the S. And Stylus League is the other one. Man, has this spam been this bad recently for other people? Like, it seems like it's gotten way worse over the past, like, 2-3 months. I don't remember doing this last year. See, this is a pain, this whole... Oh, come on, you scrub. What the hell is going on? George is getting upset. I don't know. Where do those polygroups come from? When did I do that? Oh my god. It's always at the end of the stream. All I want to do is close his mouth up a little bit. All right, I'm going to, I don't care how dirty it is. I'm going to make some moves here, you guys. So, bull to the crap. Alright, so it's looking wonky now. I'm going to fix them. Alright guys, looks like I have like another 3 minutes or so. Let's see if I can answer some of these questions and get up out of here. If you want to see more, check me and Danny and Bradley out tomorrow on our YouTube page, Stylus League. Doing zero mesh. Okay, I saw that one. Mike's in the house. What's up, B? Gesture drawing, a great way to find a pose. Oh my gosh, casino, 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 fire, casino. Ooh, topological for a start. Yeah, I have to have the right polygroups though first. It's happening to everyone, same exact same. Oh, really? Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. All right, click on an edge and it will hide the loop. Click on an edge and it will hide the loop. The same ears are tiny. Let's see his ears. Yeah, they are. I made them small because they kept poking outside of the little blaster thing. Got them tiny ears. What you know about it? What you know about it, Insane Pixel? Baby ears. That's crazy. I know that much. I got things to work on. This head needs a lot of work, so this is what I'll be doing till next time, getting this head straight. Head and neck. So since I'm almost out of time, I should probably show the whole thing. Tool, subtool, quick save. Stuff. Visor, eyeglass. Some color. And for the body, okay, body. Oh. Wait, move out the way, Bill. Oh, come on, dude. Oh, Bill, why are you doing that? Two bottoms on? Solo. Yo. Alright. I don't know. RGB is on, set to 100%. It's not masked. Color fill. All right, guys. Sorry, his body gets no color. Colors for his head, this thing. So anyway, this is where we're at right now. Do a quick little render and I'll get up out of here. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and yeah, buy my anti-venom. If you like this, check it out. Over 10 hours worth of content, and it's all on my Gumroad. All right, peace, everybody. Take care.